it's time to showcase how you truly play a medium tank, and we're going to be doing this in one of the best tier for tier medium tanks within World of Tanks console, and it's one that is severely underrated within the game, and it is the Pershing. We're showcasing some really good spots that you can use in your games to hopefully get you more damage, get you early damage, just allow you to be flexible within the game, and therefore you should be able to win more games within World of Tanks. Now, am I going to guarantee you a win? Probably not, but is it going to enable you to definitely get more damage to help your team win? Yeah, most likely. But what we're doing here, we're taking the mid ridge, and this is a opportunity for you as a player to really be able to spot for your team. So you're getting spotting damage. You can see here we've managed to detect quite a few of the enemy team, and we're not actually getting very many spotted damage within this game, at least at the beginning. However, that quickly changes on Prokhorovka, and all you have to make sure that you're doing is kind of getting into those right kind of positions. You can see me kind of getting up here. Now, you don't want to be cresting this ridge if you don't necessarily know what's over that kind of area. You're seeing rounds coming in from in front of us, so we've got to be careful, but as long as we're kind of putting pressure on the opponents, keeping them spotted, we'll be able to do okay. And for some reason, you know, the French wheeled light tank meta has developed into just basically all of the French tanks in the game are just deciding that they're going to be very silly. And you can see what we're doing here. We're spotting the team, we're spotting for the team on this Barask here, and hopefully we'll get a couple of rounds into him. Potentially we'll hit him on the move here, which of course we do, because when you fully aim it doesn't hit, and when you auto aim on the move at a minuscule pixel it does always hit. So yeah, don't quite know how that happened, but there we go. Obviously from this position it's a very useful one. And you'll notice that actually we can spot people on top of the hill to our right when we're taking this position, because there's actually a little bit of a gap underneath the railway track, so you'll be able to get assistance damage as well. And what you can see here is that we do manage to spot the heavy and also a light tank that's up on top of the hill, being the AMD 178B, and you can see we're going to pinpoint a couple of shots into the Tiger 131 here. Got good fire rate, good accuracy, means that the Pershing can really rack up this damage very good, and nicely as well. And you can see us managing to secure a round on the AMD there, taking nearly half of his hit points. And as long as you're making sure that you know you're not being silly with the Pershing, you're going to be able to have some really fantastic games. And I think that this is why this tank is just amazing. It's so all round. The vision range is amazing, especially if you put coated optics / advanced optics on. You've got situational awareness from the perks, and yeah, when you do all of that in a tank like this, you will have amazing games. And what you can see us doing is just controlling this kind of central ridge. We don't have to push in. We're not going to need to push in against an AMX 5100 who may or may not be reloading with a tank that can literally clip us from full health. So we're not going to be pushing into that. And obviously we need to just play a little bit secure within this game, make sure that we're not throwing away all of our hit points and nullifying any kind of damage we could have picked up at the end of the game. You'll see us kind of pushing in now. There's an ISU 152 which we can hopefully get a couple of shots into. Somehow bounce off the back of him, must have hit the kind of really angled plate of the engine deck or something like that. Unfortunate, but we do manage to pick up the round quickly after, and you'll see the 5.4 second reload of this makes it really nice actually, and you don't really have any problems, to be honest with you, for the most part, whilst playing the Pershing in this kind of meta and this kind of way. And that's where I think a lot of people go wrong. We play the middle ridge pretty much maybe 8 out of 10 times on Prokhorovka, because it enables me to just decide what I want to do. If I need to push left or I need to push right, I can do. It's not necessarily a fully committed flank where you have to, you know, once you've moved there, that's it, and you have to go there. It doesn't work every single game. I'm not saying that you should be using one position in all or every single game that you play in, because just not realistic, is it? Because the game does not usually end up being the exact same multiple times in a row. So what we do here, we're just advancing, trying to spot for our team if possible. We don't manage to get a shot on the IS-3 there, which is a bit disappointing. But there is the batch at 12T, and what he's about to do is obviously go and try and run away, but we're not having any of that. We're going to place a nice round. You'll see what we're doing is making sure that we're firing in front. We don't even track the batch at 12T, even though we hit him, which is really, really annoying. I hate that when you actually aim perfectly fine, you're hoping for damage, and you don't even get that. But we do manage to track him and deal damage to the Batchat, and then he gets finished off by the RT because, you know, World of Tanks. But yeah, really, really good round in the Pershing there, showcasing some really good positions on Prokhorovka and ones that you want to know about, especially that kind of railway tracks where you move up and you can actually get shots into the opponent's railway tracks and stuff like that. Really, really beneficial. And of course we pick up 5,500 combined with 4,100 actual damage in this game, which is amazing. And we're going to check out another one here to kind of further it on the other side of Prokhorovka. So let's see how that goes. So here we are, second game, Prokhorovka, opposite side, and this is going to be a really, really good one to showcase how you can kind of push from both sides and use the same sort of ideas, regardless of which side of the map you're going to be on, because, you know, we can showcase one side of the map, but 50% of the time when you get the map, you're not going to be playing on that side. So showcasing this today will help you on Prokhorovka and hopefully with your medium tanks, because that's the main aim of these sort of videos where we're looking at the gameplay, just trying to help you out, showcase how you can do things, and hopefully that comes across quite well. Obviously, feel free to ask questions in the comment section down below, and I do try to reply to like as many as I can. There's only so much time in the day, and obviously I work as well on top of everything, so yeah, releasing a video every single day and trying to work and just have everything else going on can be a little bit difficult to answer every single comment, but hopefully you can appreciate that. And yeah, I'll try my best as and when I can, and I'll go back and look through some of them, you know, maybe a couple days after, etc. So just, yeah, bear that in mind. Obviously, we're taking this mid position. I like doing it. It gives me early damage typically. As you can see, picked up 430 damage here. I don't usually go anywhere further over in this game because it can be very, very hard to kind of deal with if you do kind of go over. What you see me doing here is we missed the rover, which is unfortunate, but what you saw me do there is I angled the front plate of the Pershing to be able to bounce around, and we pick up the rover there in a couple seconds later, which is nice. And since we have such a good reload on this tank, this was actually a replay before we fully upgraded to the top gun, where you have less accuracy but you have a much better fire rate. So we've got a 6.5 second reload, better penetration with this gun. So it's kind of a trade-off whether you go with the kind of faster fire gun or the better accuracy, stuff like that. But when you've got 0.33 accuracy with a good fire, with a better fire rate, it's not that bad anyway. So we went with the high rate of fire gun and the better DPM, because effectively that's what kind of limits these sort of tanks. If you haven't got the best armor in the game, then you're going to be wanting to use everything about like the DPM and being able to like use your DPM to nullify, you know, the amount of armor that you've lost from playing a tank like this. Very easy to come up against 88s in the side. You know, it's not going to be a problem for us. We're just going to continually put rounds into them, and this is where I think a lot of people mistakenly try and push when you don't need to push. Like, there's so many times in a medium tank on Prokhorovka, people try and push at times where it's just like, if you just chilled out a little bit, you didn't have to just go all in, you could have had a much better result. And you'll notice that as well yourself when playing Prokhorovka, at least if you've played any amount of games on console. And what you see me doing here, now this is one of the best plays you can do if you can get away with it and your team wins the hill, is taking this position here. Now, you are exposed, your turret-wise, to opponents, and they can put rounds through or underneath the train, if that makes sense, to our left. But it's going to be unlikely that that's going to happen, and so it doesn't really matter to us, especially when we're in a top-tier game. And what we can do is just kind of poke this ridge and be able to continuously spot anyone that kind of comes in the middle direction of Prokhorovka here. 1,800 damage is nothing bad, but it certainly can be improved if we just stay a little bit passive. Now this is the point in the game where I see a lot of people just YOLO in, because we're going to win the game, it's 13-11, the enemy team are like confined to like a quarter of the map, so our team should be able to win, and then they go and throw themselves away and end up actually negatively impacting the game, and then you end up actually losing. So yeah, don't kind of count your chickens before they've hatched, or count your, anyway. What you want to make sure is like you're not being silly, you're not going to throw the game away thinking that you're going to win when you actually may lose. So yeah, what we're doing here, just making sure that we do not like throw that game away. And you can see that we've taken a hit there, broke our gun, which of course is just absolutely fun, but burn the repair kit. Now we can put a round into the Type 59, who's deciding that trying to retreat into the bushes at this sort of point is a good idea. Obviously not a good idea. And yeah, what we just do is keep being passive. No point in us pushing in because we're not going to get any better shots. Only benefit of pushing in is being able to get a little bit of view range on opponents, which would be, yes, nice, but we're going to take probably 3, 4, 5 hits because there's 9 enemy tanks still left alive who could get a shot on us, and they're all going to be in front of us. So as soon as we get spotted, we're going to be able to get spotted. We're then going to get hit by like probably 4 or 5 tanks, which 1300 hit points at tier 8 could potentially be disappearing very, very quickly. And now is the point at which we can push in, because the light tanks kind of left a bit further over, and I want to get some assistance damage within this game as well. So what we'll do, we'll push up to this ridge. We could potentially, if no one's spotted, stay here and get a little bit of damage, but we're going to fully push in. We've got a Chimera to the left that can help us out, at least I think it's a Chimera. And yeah, we're going to be the one that's going to spot for our team. Got a lovely little French wheelie that we can pick up, and we absolutely love it when we take out one of those, just YOLO wagons. And now we can just basically spot. We don't have to be super aggressive. If they're super aggressive against me, our whole team are going to be able to shoot them because they're going to come over, which is obviously isn't going to be worth it for them. But if we can get some assistance damage here by just keeping them spotted, keeping them lit up, and we can just take shots. We don't have to do anything silly. We can literally just pick apart the opponents as and when we want to, and that's exactly what we're going to try and do in this game. Picking up the shot on the turtle here. 3,400 damage. We'll get another one in. Easy game. This is just literally what you want in a medium tank, where you're not exposing too much and you can just put round after round into the side or the back of tanks. And an AMX AC-48 there, you can see, is just down there. We're going to hopefully go for the track. You see us aiming for that front drive wheel. We managed to track him, which is good. Go for the back drive wheel, set him on fire, track him again, go for the ram, and then hopefully we can get the final shot on him, which we do manage to do. And yeah, 4 seconds. Can we get the final kill on the T-54E2? No, we can't. But we did pick up 4,150 damage, a pretty similar result to the first game, but definitely one that I think should be shown, and we can show you how to play Prokhorovka in today's video. Obviously, if you've got any tips for yourself or for anyone else, or stuff that you've realised over your kind of playtime on World of Tanks console, leave them in the comment section down below. Let me know if you want to see more of these videos, if you want to see specific map guides, if you want to see spot guides, where's the best places to go on certain maps, and the kind of knowledge around that. Let me know in the comment section down below, and of course subscribe if you're not, and check out some other videos on screen right now. I hope you have a fantastic rest of your day, and I hope you join me there. Goodbye.